Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Generation X Files. I'm your host, Gina Renea, and today I have a special guest, April Cook.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Today our topic is going to be menopause. Yes, we're going there. Everyone else has gone there. We're having a hot flash as we speak. So our topic today is that, and we're just going to address some of the struggles that we're going through so we can put it out there and share it with everybody, and we can just have fun with this because it's been such a heavy topic for years and it's never been really talked about until the last few years. So we're going to start out with talking about some of the fantastic symptoms. So, April, when did menopause start for you?
Menopause started for me in 2019. I would be freezing cold and then I would be sweating my balls off, like just completely dying of sweat. But then I would be freezing, and it was so odd because it was all day, every day, all night, and I was having really big mood swings, but I didn't know what it was yet.
So did your mom or did anybody prior even go into the gynecologist? Because we'd have to go every year to get our pap smear and all of that fun stuff. Did anybody ever talk to you about menopause?
No, never. Did anybody talk to you?
No, never. And it just was never even brought up. I mean, I knew that it was there.
I didn't know that it was something that everybody got. I thought it was something that some people got. And I thought since I never had bio kids, maybe I wouldn't get it. I don't know why I thought that, but...
Oh, so you thought you were going to get out of that. I don't think anybody gets out of that.
Things just got worse from there.
Yeah, so you started out having hot flashes and mood swings.
Yes.
And how old were you, may I ask?
I guess I can't do the math.
Okay.
So I'm 54, so it was in 2019. So
okay, so that was
it was like 5 years ago. So
yeah.
around 50.
Yeah.
Around 50.
Yeah. So that's usually when we're supposed to start getting symptoms. I think for me, my symptoms weren't physically, they were mentally. I was having a lot of problems with anxiety, and I think if you already were exposed to anxiety or depression, I think it just took it to a whole different level.
Amplified it.
It amplified it. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. And it amplified it, and it made me feel like I was literally going crazy. I had anxiety, depression. I couldn't sleep. I think that is the biggest for me, sleeping.
The sleeping is definitely the worst. I still can't sleep. But for me, I probably did have depression and I didn't realize it. But for me, I got a lot of physical problems. I got psoriasis. I got itchy ears.
Mm-hmm.
I got very stiff joints. Of course, I wasn't working out at the time, and I was also overweight. So I felt like I had no energy, and I was walking through water just when I was walking from here to there. It just felt like such a chore, and I didn't know what was happening, but I did do research and I knew it was menopause. But there really at the time was not any information out yet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like during COVID, there was a lot of women that started popping up on Instagram talking about it and really bringing to light all the different symptoms and ways to combat.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie. I feel like famous people brought it to the table, and like people that are our age, like Nicole Kidman and Jennifer Aniston and all of those actresses, Halle Berry, when they started coming out with it and talking about it on TV, I think that's really when it was like a sense of freedom where we were okay to talk about it. And I think that is really how it opened up for us and made it more public, because it was very hush-hush, you know. People didn't talk about it. People didn't want to complain. But I think because it's so real and it affects your daily life every single day. It affects you every day, that it is such a topic that is just not talked about enough. And there's so many people that's suffering. I mean, even when I would go to the doctor to get my yearly exam at the gynecologist, he never asked me, oh, okay, yeah, your hormones look okay, But what he really meant was your hormone levels look normal for your age. Right?
Yes, but I also think that the doctor, no one really had information at that time. I don't think still doctors have a lot of information. I think they're learning with us.
Mm-hmm.
They know about HRT. They want to put you on the patch or do the pellet or a cream, but that's all new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
mm-hmm.
the whole attitude before was, you got to suck it up like your betters have done before you. So,
I love that.
we were just dealing with it.
Right.
And I can see how back in the 1900s, 1800s, I could see how they were putting women in psycho wards and pulling out all their teeth and doing all these lobotomies to them because they really thought the women were going crazy, because you do.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going crazy.
Yeah.
You really do. Sometimes you cannot reel in your what's happening to you because it's hormonal, and I don't think anyone really addressed the hormones. It's like being a teenager going through puberty, but you're older and wiser, so you can't act like a jackass like teenagers do. You have to reel it in because you have to act like a mature woman that you are and continue all your responsibilities and stay focused. So you're really just melting inside, suffering and trying to do all the things that you're supposed to be doing, but you feel like a raging teenager with your hormones, and not in a sexual way.
No, not at all.
I mean,
Gone.
Opposite.
So, and that's the thing, right? So as a woman, you have to be sexy. You have to show up for work. And that was another deal breaker for me. It was so hard for me to go to work because I didn't sleep all night. So then I would go into work, and by noon, I was completely gone. I was brain fogged out. I couldn't think. I couldn't even, answer the phone or make any decisions because my whole day was just already gone because such sleepless nights all the time. So that was one of the huge ones. And then the mental aspect of, I read so many articles about, don't make any huge decisions while you're in menopause because, you're not in the right frame of mind. And it's like,
decisions must be made.
I know, but I think because we're fragile and sometimes we're not thinking and, we're depleted of our major, I didn't really realize how important estrogen is. And without it, your body basically can't even function. So what happens, like what happened in the olden days, how did they go through the rest of their life? There's nothing golden.
They were washing the clothes.
I know.
They were stirring the pot.
Yeah. There's nothing golden about the golden ages. It's like you're just not feeling good at all. And when you have to be a wife, a mother, a friend, any of those things, it's so tough to combat all of that when you are feeling crappy. So, what do you do about it? Is the question. What did you do about it?
Well, I started exercising. Pilates changed my life personally. I feel like that is the perfect exercise that can take you from your 50s to your 90s if you live that long. So I really enjoy that. It's not high energy. I like a low energy workout. I don't want to be dripping in sweat. So that was perfect for me. Pilates changed my life. It gave me metabolism. It gave me energy. Also, semaglutide.
Tell me more.
Well, that's obviously, you hear a lot of negativity surrounding that particular GLP-1 drug. But for me, it helped me with 99% of my menopausal problems.
Wow.
And I lost 40 pounds in the last 10 months. So that really helped me. And I don't have any side effects because I researched everything that you do and everything that you shouldn't do. And I do all the things that you should do.
Like?
And so I was successful. Well, I eat a lot of protein, avoid sugar, don't eat anything with grease, take digestive enzymes. Just, there's so many things, but I had to make all those things part of my lifestyle. Where before I thought, I mean, just being Gen X, diet to us is like you diet, you get thin, and then you go back to you're eating the way you were. You
Right.
go off the diet. This is more of a lifestyle change where I had to reprogram myself to eat different, think about food differently. They talk about food noise a lot. Semaglutide takes away the food noise, and that was game changing for me too. I just don't think about food in the same way I used to. And I could say that all my menopausal issues are now subsided. I don't get hot flashes, but I'm always hot. I'm in the tank top and I get the air conditioner on in the winter. But I'm not dripping and dying like I used to. I am starting an estrogen cream. It's only been about 2 weeks. So I don't know if that's really helped at all or not now, but I'm hoping.
Okay. For me, I was against this because I had breast cancer in my family, so I was afraid to try to do any hormone replacement therapy. But it really was, I had to do it because I just could not stand the way I felt. So I do estradiol patch, and I do the progesterone tablets at night, and a testosterone cream. And I've got to tell you that it has freaking changed my life. I mean, it brought me back into the game where I feel like I was a zombie. Every day. Just every day being a zombie. Okay, yeah. I couldn't wait to get into bed. I couldn't wait to go to sleep, to repeat the process all over again. But I feel like the hormone replacement therapy has definitely helped me. And regardless of all that, the number one thing that I think is so important for us, especially Generation X and the age that we're approaching, is you have to eat healthy. You've got to make really good choices with your diet, and you have to implement some kind of movement. That's the whole word now. They don't say exercise. It's like, we're going to get some movement in.
You got to exercise.
Yes.
And you're not going to lose weight by exercise.
No, exercise is just
for
giving you
tone.
the tone, and it's giving you, your little heart pump, but it's really what you're eating. And like April said, I know that, she gave me good advice because I was trying to keep my weight down, and she's like, it's protein, it's all about the protein. So there's so many recipes out there now that, we could share that are just so good, and you don't even think that it's protein. And it's so good. And
I have my go-tos. All my go-to recipes are on my Instagram saved.
Yeah, it's so important because, with the whole world today with, health, and I do not ever, and I repeat ever, want to get caught up in the Western medicine health system. It is super scary to me. I don't want to get sick because all they want to do is give you medications to take, and then there's side effects to that. I had high cholesterol. They gave me a statin, and the statin made my bones hurt. So it's like, no matter what, there's always a price you're paying. So I think that for us in menopause, I think Dr. Cindy talks about it all the time. Like, you really have to incorporate so many different things to create a healthy lifestyle for your everyday. It's not like it was, in our 20s and 30s where you could go out and have drinks, and, you can take a Xanax and get up and function the next day. Like, that's not happening on the radar anymore. It's like our bodies are working against us. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. So,
but I also think that, you mentioned Western medicine. There's always, every medication is risk versus reward. So you have to measure those things, number one. And number two, there is a lot of gains for certain things in Western medicine because you have to get treated for things. And certain people want to take, combo approaches or other approaches, and that's fine. And that's up for everybody to make their own decision. But I don't think dismissing Western medicine 100% is the way to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm not dismissing it. I'm saying I just don't want to become a part of it. I'm hoping that I can stay healthy and not have to get on medications because I can't, be healthy on my own. Like, there's no reason why we can't advocate for ourselves and be healthy and eat right. If we do all of those things, then that keeps us safe and tucked away out of that whole industry. I just,
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes.
because, well, there's diabetes, you know, there's high blood pressure, there's high cholesterol, autoimmune diseases, and there's just so many other things that unravel, which are a part of menopause because you're losing your estrogen and your other hormones that play a part in that. So I'm all for hormone replacement therapy. It has made a huge impact in my life. For menopause, it makes me a happier person, makes me a better girlfriend, a better friend, a better, you know, anything. So I think that I think that a lot of people are now doing that and looking for that. And I don't know how long you stay on it. I know that they say, oh, you do it for a few years, you don't. I mean, I don't understand why you can't stay on it forever. I don't know really why you'd have to go off it to begin with, because you're once again going to deplete yourself of the hormones that we need so much. So
I don't think there's a time frame. I think everybody has their own. Well, like you said, you have to advocate for yourself, and you have to decide for yourself.
yeah,
The semaglutide, I probably will stay on it forever. I mean, not when I'm 90 and I don't care anymore, but I mean, I hope I care. But I mean, as long as I feel like it's helping me, I'll stay on it.
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah. I tried it and it made me, I had digestive issues to begin with. So it made me feel, I always felt like I had indigestion. It made my stomach hurt. And there's some component to it, and I don't know what it is, but it made me miserable. It gave me like mood swings. I have another friend that was on it, and she said the same thing, that she felt like a little moody from it, and it made her feel like kind of shitty. So, but some people have had great results with it, and I know that so many doctors rave about it, and people have lost weight, and you know, the thing is that, you know, part of that is you have to be conscious of what you're eating, and I think a lot of times we're not. We think that, oh, I didn't eat anything today, but you know, drinking counts as calories, and there's a lot of other things that play into that, you know, sometimes we're just not being truthful with what we're actually eating.
But even if you are being truthful, the not eating is not you benefiting in any way. It's not going to help you lose weight. It's all about exactly what you're eating is really what it is. Like I said, we used to be told to eat salads. We didn't lose weight because a salad is chock full of heavy dressings. You know, even vinegar and oil. I mean, that's a ton of calories. Someone on the Instagram said to me, indirectly, they said, if you count protein, 1 gram of protein per body weight, and you count protein every day, you'll never have to count a calorie. And that's what I did the past year, and it worked. Like it completely worked. So I think when you're focusing on getting your protein in, you don't have any room for the junk. I'm a carb freak. I love Cheez-Its. I love Cheese Jacks. You know, the puffs? They don't sell them down here, but in New Jersey, I always get them. I love potato chips. I love a hoagie. I love all the breads, and I really just don't think about it as much anymore. And it's because I always say I got to get my protein in first. So I'll eat a whole thing of cottage cheese, then move on to whatever I was going to eat secondary. And then you're not so hungry, so you're only getting a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I feel like, you know, when you look at, and I can't help but go to Hollywood because, you know, we grew up with Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock and all of those great
Stars.
And, you know, they're kicking it. They're thin and they look great. And I think that set the tone of, you know, our pressure of, okay, that's what we have to look like.
Supermodels. The supermodels that we had, I mean, who didn't have them on their wall?
Yeah, but here's the thing. When I look at the superstars today, when I look at all of them, the greats that I just mentioned, they still look the same. They look thin. They don't look like they have changed. So, and I don't care. I know that I don't care if they have a chef, whatever. At the end of the day,
it's Mujer Miche.
It's Mujer Miche. Yeah. So I don't understand how they got to keep that. How are they doing that? I want to know. I want to know their secrets.
Well, I don't think it necessarily has to be a secret.
They're going through menopause too.
Listen, they don't have to have a secret. It's just if you were an actress and you're on a movie set You're busy, right? The cook brings you your food, then you're busy. Then they take you to your workout. You got your personal trainer. Then the cook's cooking your food. If you have someone sitting there going, Gina, eat this for breakfast. And then at lunchtime they come up, here, Gina, eat this for lunch. Okay, we have workout at 2. And everything is scheduled like that. You're going to be able to maintain your cute skin.
But what if it's not enough? What if I need more sneaking behind the chef?
Well, you're probably not going to be a big star in Hollywood.
Yeah, but I know, but I don't understand how they maintain that. You know, I mean, when you see movies,
because they know that their money is their appearance.
Yeah.
So they're sticking to that.
Yeah.
So like Jennifer Aniston, J-Lo, they're all doing the right thing because they know if they don't keep it together,
it's their brand.
The money is not coming in.
It's their brand.
So we would be able to do it too, the same way they're doing it.
Yeah.
I truly believe that, you know, there's a lot of money behind all this.
Yeah. True.
People have plastic surgery. They have fillers. Like Lady Gaga, okay? Love her. I think that her face looks so beautiful right now. Have you seen her lately?
No.
You can tell she got work done to her nose. I'm not sure what else, but her nose, it's still like her original nose. It's not a small nose. It's not like a little perfect pin nose. It's a bigger nose, but the shape of it's more defined. I'm always looking at noses because, you know.
I have a big one.
I mean, yeah, growing up like this,
Italian
you're always like, you know, thinking like looking at people's noses, wishing you had that nose.
Yeah.
The best nose job is Ashley Simpson.
Oh, really?
Never seen her nose?
I don't really think I pay attention to her. She was
Well, I
on
don't
my
either, but when I
radar.
see her picture, it's like, I don't know who her doctor was, but it's a fantastic nose. But anyway, Lady Gaga, she looks fantastic, but she is, I don't even know why I brought her name up.
I think you brought it up because
She got work done?
Yeah.
She got some work done, but it still looks like her, and it's still like her, like how she looks a little off. You know, she doesn't want to be perfect. She wants to be a little off looking for all her monsters, you know, and I really like that. I find that really pretty, really beautiful.
I wonder if menopause has started for her.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, no.
No,
Right?
she's probably not even 40,
Yeah.
right?
No, I think she is 40. I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
So I think that at the end of the day, in the recap of this podcast about menopause, is menopause sucks. And
Sucks.
I think that no matter what, there's no way of getting out of it. But if you are in it or you're starting to go in it, I would highly recommend to make sure that you incorporate a great diet.
Protein.
You exercise, have plenty of movement. I also am a big Pilates fan. I started doing Pilates, actually April told me about Pilates, and then I got into it and I love it. It's so good for you, and showing up for yourself every day is just priceless. I feel good. Sometimes I don't feel good when I'm pulling up, but when I'm leaving, I'm like, yeah, I did it one more day. It's just such a good workout.
You always feel so good after class. You feel stretched. You feel like you had yoga, like you had somebody stretching you, like you went to the chiropractor. And I've never had so many muscles. And I wasn't trying to get muscles, but I feel like no other form of exercise I ever was able to get muscular.
Yeah. And for anybody out there who feels like they're going crazy, we are here to tell you that you're not, because we have pretty much touched on every symptom from mental health to physical, even down to like your ears itching.
Oh my gosh.
Right? I mean, your ears itch. You get vertigo.
They dry out and they itch. They even have spray now, like that I get, that I every day spray in my ear because your ears just itch like crazy. And there's no, I never had itchy ears in my life, so that's obviously part of it. It is on the list, by the way.
Yeah, dry eyes are on
Vertigo.
the list, dry skin. I mean, I can't believe how long the list is for us. I mean, it's so intimidating. It's actually scary that for women, we have to, on the daily, live through some of these things that are just awful. But now that there's other alternatives that can help out, I strongly recommend them. And I hope that if anybody's going through menopause, this discussion has put a little light on it and maybe made you laugh, because, you know, another thing too is, you know, I drink alcohol, I'm up for days. That's probably another one of the worst things about menopause. It does something to,
I think it's the sugar.
yeah, the sugar. Well,
The sugar in the alcohol.
Yeah, but-
I try to drink early because I like it. I like to have cocktails.
but I drank 5-10 years ago and I was okay. I don't understand why the sugar would play.
Because insulin is so changed during menopause. Like, insulin resistance is a big topic of discussion for doctors with the menopause. And again, I think I had that, and that's why I couldn't lose weight. So insulin resistance, it just, anything that you eat that can and will turns to sugar, and you can't process it. But a lot of people, I think, I'd like to say to take away from this is to not feel shameful about it, because I think I was feeling, just when I was going through everything and I didn't have a lot of information, I felt shame because I wanted to get on with my day and, make dinner and do the dishes and keep a house, and I wasn't up to it. So I would do the very least, the minimum. The whole time I couldn't wait to get back in the bed. So I think I felt ashamed about that. And so now I know that it was part of the menopausal process, which can take up to 10 years. So I'm 5 in.
Yeah, I mean, my aunt's 87 and she's still getting hot flashes.
Oh,
So, my sisters have been in it probably for longer than me because they're older, because I'm the youngest, and they still get hot flashes, and that's one thing I never got. I don't get hot flashes.
oh.
I think
I'm so happy for
I
you.
know. I think I've been so lucky. I mean, I get other things. The mental part's worse. So, the hot flashes I've never had, but I see, my sister used to stick her head in the freezer, or, you have to rip your clothes off when you're out. And alcohol in and of itself tips it off. You have a little drink, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like your body's on fire. And
I had a little fan. It was this neck thing, and it was like an air conditioner, and it sat right here, and it blew up and blew on my face. And I used to walk around the stores with it, and women would come up to me and they'd be like, what is that? And I'm like, it's an air conditioner. And they were so excited where I told them to get it. They were all going through it.
Yeah. And trying to stay sexy is just, I mean, that is just a whole other thing. I mean, that's a challenge too, to try to keep that going. And then, you're out and you're feeling like this, and then you see like 30-year-old girls walking by and they're owning their shit, and they're walking by and they're like, and everyone's like looking at them, and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I need to stick my head in the freezer. And yeah, it's a challenge. And unfortunately, we have no other way to go. What is that saying? You have to go through.
We must go through it.
You must go through it
to get down into it.
To get to the end of it. You have to go through it. Yeah. So anyway, well, I think that wraps it up. And I would just like to say thank you for tuning in to the podcast. And we are going to be having our podcast weekly. And our next episode is going to be, obviously everything that we do here is Generation X. So it will be a Generation X topic. If anybody has any ideas that they want us to discuss, please feel free to let us know.
Yes.
And I think our next one's going to be on latchkey kids and how we were unsupervised growing up and what kind of effect they had on us. So
Thanks, Gina.
Thank you, April. Thanks for coming. I
Good
really
time.
appreciate it. Actually, she didn't come. I came here. I'm at her
Good
house.
time, good chat.
So stay tuned for more. And as always, stay fearless.
April Cook out.
Cheese.